And hello, and welcome to another video from Planet Papa. And today, as the title of the video says, WWE has gotten itself caught between quite the rock and a hard place, no pun intended. Since last WrestleMania, the big storyline that WWE has really pushed, actually since Cody Rhodes came back, was the Finish the Story promo, storyline where, Cody Rhodes wants to win the title that his dad never held, and that he had it in his hands, and the referee took the belt away from him after thinking he won it. And they've really pushed that story. And Cody Rhodes is, in my opinion, the most popular wrestler in WWE right now. And great worker, is really, can be, you always hear the face of the company. Like, I really think that, he would do well if they put him there and let him be the face of the company. But, I think everybody after last year, where he lost to Roman Reigns because of the bloodline interference, that everybody, okay, it's going to be next year, it's going to be the rematch, and this is where he's going to go over and win and finish the story. And I think everybody thought that. And then that all started to get thrown into disarray when The Rock appeared on SmackDown a few weeks back, and he made the reference of taking a seat at the head of the table, which was obviously a shot at Roman Reigns to set up a match with him and Roman Reigns. And that's where everything got crazy. Immediately, the wrestling community, wrestling fans, Cody Rhodes is going to get screwed over, and and The Rock is going to jump in his spot, and you could start feeling the resentment with the fans there. A lot of the fans were happy that see The Rock back and wrestling a match, and of course going after Roman Reigns. But at the same time, they didn't like the fact that. A lot of them didn't like the fact that, he was going to jump his spot with Cody Rhodes. But then when Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble, I think there was a collective sigh of relief. Like, okay, maybe this, maybe he is going to get his shot at, at a rematch with Roman Reigns. And now, did the CM Punk injury, throw a monkey wrench into a lot of the plans? Yep, I definitely think so. As far as star power goes, the whole thing with Vince McMahon and then Brock Lesnar, getting mentioned in that lawsuit, and now the WWE basically distancing themselves from Brock Lesnar and pulling him from TV and pay-per-view events and the whole WrestleMania, obviously. That definitely played a part in the whole state of flux right now with WrestleMania. But the WWE really could have handled this a lot better. They really put themselves in a tight spot here, because it's getting ugly really fast. It started last night on Monday Night Raw, where the fans just basically were yelling, Rocky sucks, we want Cody. It was bad. And then to the point where Michael Cole said, oh my God, is this 1996? And today it came out that his daughter, Simone, she deactivated all her social media accounts because she was getting death threats. Which, that right there is just ridiculous. Come on, people. She has nothing to do with this. Okay, she's The Rock's daughter. We get it. Did she get her spot in WWE because of The Rock? Yeah, probably. But you could probably say that with a lot of the Roman Reigns and a lot of these other, the Usos. Did they get their shot in WWE? Did they get their shot in WWE because they were cousins with The Rock? You could probably make that argument as well. But, this is a kid. I mean, she has nothing to do with the situation. She has nothing to do, with anything going on right now. And, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But, I mean, it's getting that ugly. And WWE is to blame for this. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, there's a lot of intelligent, smart people that work in creative there. I'm sure they could have come up with something a little bit better by just throwing this out there the way they did. After letting Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It seems like they just like, okay, we don't know what to do, but we're going to do this. Even though we let Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble, it's ridiculous. I mean, my thing was this. I said from the beginning, if you watch my video from a few weeks prior to Royal Rumble, where I gave my predictions, I said there is no way Roman Reigns could go into WrestleMania with the belt. There's no way. That you cannot allow that to happen. Because, number one, I mean, my big thing was this. The argument I made in my video initially was that a match like The Rock and Roman Reigns, something they've been talking about for years now, something that people do want to see. Just not at the expense where the guy that was busting his ass for the last, for the entire time he's come back, and have him basically leapfrog him, into the main event. But more importantly, if Roman Reigns has the belt going into WrestleMania when he wrestles The Rock, that is the single most predictable match on the card. I mean, you would have to be a complete moron to think that they're going to let The Rock win the belt because, like, long term, they can't. I mean, they can't. I mean, it's too. Because with his movie obligations, last time he wrestled like on a part-time schedule, in the last match with John Cena, because a lot of people don't remember this or maybe not even know this, but The Rock, after he lost to John Cena, was supposed to wrestle some more. Brock Lesnar wasn't supposed to go after John Cena. It was supposed to be Brock Lesnar and The Rock, but The Rock tore his pec in the match with Cena, and he was on the shelf. He had to get surgery. All of his movie obligations got pushed back. The movie industry, the people that he's working with, the companies and these movies that he's working on, they're not going to allow that, because if he gets hurt, I mean, it pushes everything back. People are going to be out of work because the production is going to get shut down until he works. Things are all going to get delayed, pushed. They're not going to let that happen. And so, I mean, you can't put the belt on The Rock. I mean, my initial argument was a match like that, you want it to be unpredictable where anything could happen. So, and with Roman holding the belt, it's too predictable. He's not going to lose. He's not. But more importantly now, with the whole thing with Cody, I mean, you're setting yourself up for a lot of backlash. And what they should have done from the beginning is in the four-way match with with Randy Orton, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Roman Reigns. The Bloodline comes down, gets involved to try to help Roman win the match. The Rock comes down, chases off the Bloodline, and because the Bloodline isn't there, Roman Reigns loses the belt. He blames The Rock, and it sets up the match at WrestleMania. And the best scenario of all would have been if Randy Orton won the belt, because number one, you're still getting your Rock Roman match at WrestleMania, but number two, you're creating a very interesting storyline with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. Like teacher versus student, friend versus friend. That's a really interesting storyline that I think fans would have got behind. But now, by basically, if they go the route they plan on going, where, Cody Rhodes is going to end up wrestling Seth Rollins, and it's going to be The Rock and Roman for the title at WrestleMania, that could get ugly really fast as far as the reaction from the fans. let's go back to the WrestleMania where Goldberg wrestled Brock Lesnar, where it came out both were leaving right after WrestleMania. You go back and watch that match. The fans were brutal. I mean, they were all over the both of them. And okay, Brock Lesnar was the heel, so of course he's going to get heat, but Goldberg got it just as bad as Brock Lesnar did. I mean, it was brutal. Like the fans were all over them, booing them, chanting, "This is boring, you suck, blah, blah, blah." I mean, it was brutal. Go back more recent, where Batista came back during the Yes movement, came back as the baby face, and went after Randy Orton, who was the heel, and Triple H, and he was supposed to be the good guy. And because he won the Royal Rumble and jumped in Daniel Bryan's spot, I mean, it got so bad with Batista, they had no choice but to turn him heel. I mean, this is not, I mean, how embarrassing is this going to be where, I mean, and look, I know people are going to say that, oh, well, they turned The Rock once because, the fans got sick of him. They turned them heel. But yeah, but you know what though? Rock wasn't as celebrity status as he is right now. Rock is one of the biggest actors in the world, most popular actors in the world, is a huge name in not just in the wrestling business, but in show business. I mean, how embarrassing is this going to be for him if he gets booed out of the building and like Rocky sucks and the backlash on him? And don't think for one second that it couldn't hurt his movie career. Don't think for a second it couldn't. Because, I mean, oh, here's this big celebrity guy coming back and taking, the main event from the guy that busted his ass all year. Don't think for one second that can't affect him in Hollywood. Which, no offense to all these wrestling fans out there that aren't going to want to hear this, that's his bread and butter. It's not the wrestling business anymore. And let's not forget where WrestleMania is being held this year. In Philadelphia. Philadelphia sports fans, they are in a league all of their own when it comes to like viciousness towards like things they don't agree with. And they are, in my opinion, one of the worst sports fans in the world. I mean, this is the fan base that booed Santa Claus the one year. I mean, when you have to have a judge, when you get arrested at the link where the judge is actually in the stadium, where basically you're arrested, tried, and convicted in one day, like it's a one-stop shop for a criminal conviction. I mean, that's saying something. I mean, Philadelphia fans, they are in a league all of their own when it comes to voicing their opinion, and at WrestleMania, it could get ugly. And the WWE is to blame for this. I mean, they are to blame. So, I mean, I just think that there's a lot of things they could have done. And like I said, I get the CM Punk injury. That really threw things like in a frenzy. I mean, it really messed things up. And like I said, I mean, but there had to be a different way to do this. I mean, or like if you wanted to continue to go this route, put The Rock in the Royal Rumble as the 30th man, have some type of controversial finish or something where there's there's controversy in the winner, and then set up, okay, well, to be fair, Roman Reigns has to wrestle both nights. I mean, let's be honest. He doesn't wrestle that often to begin with. I mean, he, have him versus Cody Rhodes the first night, and then The Rock and Roman Reigns the second night. Or have The Rock and Roman Reigns on the first night, there's a screw job finish, and then the Cody Rhodes and Roman on the second night, where the bloodline comes down and The Rock comes down and helps Cody to win the title. I mean, there's so many different things they could have done. Or, as I said earlier, take the belt off Roman going into WrestleMania. that would have been the smartest thing to do, because the fans wouldn't be all over The Rock for jumping in Cody's spot. You have him wrestle, in a tribal chief match or something, and then you have Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. Everybody's happy. You get your Rock and Roman match. Cody finishes his story. Everybody's happy. But WWE likes to do things the hard way. But this could get very ugly very fast, and it already is. And it's only going to get worse as we get closer to WrestleMania. We're still almost a little less than 2 months away, and it's getting this ugly already. Not good. Not good at all. And, it's going to be interesting to see where they go. I mean, they may have to backpedal here. I mean, they really may have to backpedal. And I know Cody Rhodes is going to come out and, be PC and say all the right things, and, you know what I mean? But the fans know that, they're leapfrogging him and costing him his shot, and the chance to, and like I said, I get it's scripted, but I mean, it doesn't mean you have any less of a vested interest. You want to see, the people that bust their ass and work hard, you like to see them be rewarded. And Cody has been a team player from day one. And don't think on the flip side of it, what does that say to the people in the locker room? I mean, once again, you look back, people criticize CM Punk. One of his big arguments that he made before he left WWE the first time are these, part-time wrestlers or people that show up once a year and jump into the big spots at WrestleMania and take away spots from people that busted their ass all year, and then they end up not being on the card or being, involved in some ridiculous way. What does that say to the people in the locker room? What does that say to people, and other companies that might be coming up, towards the end of their contract, and, well, hey, look what they did there. I mean, that's not cool. And, it may sway them from, not wanting to come to WWE. I mean, this just has been mishandled completely. And so, like I said, let me know what you think. And and like I said, I get, everybody wanted to see this match with Rock and Roman Reigns, but not at Cody Rhodes' expense. I mean, why not do it in at the Elimination Chamber in Perth? You know what I mean? Or like I said, have they could have done it where, like I said, entering The Rock into the Royal Rumble, and have him and Cody, have a controversial finish where they both get a shot at Roman on WrestleMania. I mean, there's a lot of things they could have done. I mean, you look at when Bret Hart and Lex Luger had that controversial finish, going back to the Royal Rumble years ago, against Yokozuna. Yokozuna had to wrestle 2 matches in one night. Never mind, one match one night, another match the next. I mean, the WWE, and I think part of it's not just about Cody Rhodes getting leapfrogged. I think people are getting fed up with, once again, Roman Reigns being forced down their throats, not to try to get him over or make him the face of the company, but now they're forcing it down our throats that he's the greatest WWE champion ever, and he's all these legends he's surpassing for the amount of length of time he held the belts. But I mean, the guy wrestles once every other month, if that. I mean, he's held the belt now for I think 3 years or however how many days. Has he defended the title in that time more than 50 times? I mean, once upon a time, the WWE title was defended, if not both on Raw and SmackDown, at least one of the shows during the week. Not to mention at house shows, not to mention on every pay-per-view. To have the WWE title not on a pay-per-view was inconceivable. It was inconceivable at one point. Like, it was always defended on pay-per-views. And I think that's the other part of the fans just getting sick of of the WWE title not being there, not being defended. I mean, the WWE's got to get away from putting the titles on wrestlers that don't want to be full-time. And I'm not saying, and people are going to say, oh, the schedule, this and that, and it's too much. The wrestler schedules aren't as bad as it used to be. You could still, like I said, you should still be able to defend the title every pay-per-view, not just every other pay-per-view. There's no reason why to wrestle the occasional match on TV. Where you're going sometimes a month and a half where you don't see Roman Reigns, not even on TV. That's part of the backlash against Roman Reigns right now. It's not just against The Rock. Yeah, they're pissed off that The Rock is jumping in Cody's spot, but I think also it's the fact that they're sick of Roman Reigns and the lack of defense. And Michael Cole at the last pay-per-view said, "Oh, if people people complain about Roman Reigns not defending the title, then do something about it and beat him." Really? Michael, we know it's scripted. It's people are just sick of it. And there's a lot of things they could have done where they could have avoided the mess they're in right now. And we're 2 months away. They could still do something to save face. They're going to have to eat a little crow, as the saying goes, because, the fans right now, they're not happy. And it's going to get uglier and uglier and uglier the closer we get to WrestleMania and the longer they let this, let's be honest, elephant in the room sit there. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and hit the subscription button. And let me know what you think. Let me know your opinions. And we'll see you next time.